I'm just glad you're drinking a beer hungover with us. I appreciate it.
I mean, it was Friday yesterday.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Have a Beer with Obie. We have a very special guest here, Jon Pardi. Thank you for being here, brother.
Already having a beer.
We started off with a beer. Camera guy wasn't ready, so we just got started. I mean,
getting warm.
That's how you do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice warm day. We're here in Nashville, outside of Nashville, in a secret, undisclosed location.
Yeah.
Don't come find us. Just leave us alone. I feel like already sticking to my clothes. I just changed my shirt and I'm already soaked.
The good old humidity.
Oh yeah.
South.
So we were talking before, and you're saying you put this up about 7 years ago. You've been out here?
2015, so 5.
About 5 years.
Yeah, it didn't look like I remodeled everything. This wasn't here. We just built the shop, and the past 3 years I remodeled it. But it's a good spot out here. It's 20 minutes from Nashville, and not really. You can't see me from the road.
Right.
So it's
I
hard
gotta
enough.
pause, dude. I got bug eating my
Flies.
Is that flies? Okay.
Oh, you got horse fly.
As long as it's not a chigger, I don't care.
Hold on, I got something fun.
All right, we're back. We just had to assassinate some flies. We're prepared. Actually, I have that same exact gun. It's
We're loaded.
My son's favorite. It's a mandatory. It's like a necessity for people who live in fly country. It's just like everywhere. It's just,
Flies are bad, real bad right now. Oh, there's one.
so if it lands on the camera, that'll be a good shot. You blast the salt through. All right. Back to business, man. So you grew up. I just found this out. You grew up in California, and you ended up coming out here. Did you come out here before you made it, or did you kind of like figure out what you were doing in California, cruise this way? Like, how did that end up being?
No, I moved out here when I was 22,
Right.
in 2008. So I've been out here for 12 years now, and I just came out here to kind of be a songwriter because I played around in California a lot. I went to school in Chico for a little bit, started a band.
Chico.
Oh, dude, we had some good times. Man.
It's known for being one of the wildest parties, party colleges anywhere.
$1 beer night every night, and we had a lot of fun there. And I've been playing music my whole life, so I had the whole entertainment thing. I kind of did that, but I wanted to know how songwriting worked in Nashville, so that was my first kind of coming here, learn how to write songs. And then I got a gig down at Losers in Midtown, and just played there, and then published a deal, and then it led to a record deal. And
Yeah.
So, but it was a long process, you know. It takes time. So.
Well, you did it right. I mean, obviously, one of the biggest complaints about music today, and we're not going to get like too into it, but a lot of stuff doesn't feel like it's like from the heart. It feels kind of like people are just regurgitating something to get another sale or an album or a click on their link or whatever. But when you put your music out, it's like you can't help but feel it. It's real.
I try to keep the soul aspect.
Yeah, well,
The
you
whole
succeed.
thing.
You definitely get it.
I think I got one. There's flies everywhere.
Luckily, we got Commando. So, trying to jump in subjects here. I was watching an interview you did, and you were talking about working out and stuff like that. And obviously, I have to bring that up. And you said in the interview that you just you do enough to make sure that you can dance and feel good, and really your focus isn't on that kind of stuff, which is honestly to me it's kind of a breath of fresh air to hear someone be honest about that.
Yeah.
And I think you attract more people to being in better shape when you say something that way.
Yeah.
Because it's like if a guy's working 9 to 5, he doesn't want to hear like, you gotta go every day, there's no days off.
If you can knock out a half an hour of working out in your life, that will keep you more healthy and more trim. Like, my thing is, I just gotta look good in clothes. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't trying to do the whole. I mean, I'd be nice to have a 6-pack, but that would cut off a lot. It'd just be, all the fun would go away. And I know guys are dedicated to it, but. And it's such an annoyance thing with Instagram now. It's like, damn, everybody's got to have a 6-pack to have 1 million followers. There you go.
Right.
There you go. And it's like, it's not like that in real life. I work too many real jobs. Like, when you get home and you're tired, like the last thing you want to do is go to the gym, or you got to get up at 5:30 and you got to wake up at what 3:30 to go to the gym. So it just takes dedication, but.
And then on the road and everything too, like. The stress of everything you do, and then for you to have to like only eat white rice and chicken and then you know.
I got getting older, man. I'm gonna have to start doing that. I got to cut back on a lot of stuff because of my acid problem. But so yeah, no, it's on the road. It's easier to stay inactive because like we have nothing to do. Like literally, like well, we got a lot to do, but like we're on stage, and then we're off stage. There's like you get there's 2 hours on stage, and then there's the rest of the day kind of waiting around. So we do a lot of working out, and I got my gym set up in there. So I like working out. A couple of days, 3 days, if I don't work out, I start feeling weird.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I.
Well, you're also pretty outdoorsy, you know, from what I can tell. Obviously, I don't like to hide in the bushes and watch, but you know, I mean, I kind of do a little bit. But you're pretty active outside of working out too, which I think if the majority of America had examples like that, where it was like, get your stuff done, like hustle after your dream, and then have this kind of salted in there, I think it would actually attract a lot more people than even the way that I do it. The way that I do it's not really attractive to people who aren't like willing to die for it almost, you know? Yeah, it's like in all reality, you probably draw more people to being physically active than I get to even, and it's my job. So, like I thought what you were saying was really
there's
cool.
a lot of big guys out there.
There are.
I want to get in the squat rack gang.
For sure, I do get that. I get a lot of big guys trying to lose weight, a lot of big guys who want to kind of assess their abilities and figure out what they're doing.
So many flies.
I know. I'm waiting for you to get one. Oh, there we go. Got it. We got this one. Oh!
He's coming back. Sometimes you can shoot him out of the air.
Wait. There we go. He's on the box.
Ah! Wait. I got him a little bit.
It's on your hand now.
Where? All right, they go away for a little bit. All right.
It's good. What are we doing? Yes.
We're sweating. Oh. Ah! That was low shot. That was a low shot.
Got him in the face.
I mean, he's going right to the source here.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way you do it.
All right, he's gone. So yeah.
So anyways, talking and stuff. I've always been a fan of country music. I grew up, the first concert that I got to go to, I didn't really get to go inside, but my sisters went and I was outside waiting. My first concert was Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting outside with my sisters while they were waiting to go in, and he drove up driving the bus. Like, he drove the bus and was like right up next to everybody and, you know, having a good time and everything. And when I see your stuff, I haven't got to see you live yet, but I've watched your performances on YouTube and I've seen different clips and everything. It seems like you really brought that like joyfulness back to it. You know, there's, again, not to get too into it, but there's a lot of other different types of stuff now, and it seems like the joy and the like moving, almost like Dwight Yoakam, how you always want to dance to Dwight Yoakam. It's like that, but you've got that silly fun energy, and yet you can still bring it all back around and make people want to cry, like, because you're so honest and your emotion comes out of the music. It's, for me, I mean you could look at the numbers. A lot of people agree. Like, you're kind of the one now. Like, you're. I know.
Just having a good time.
Sorry, I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
No.
Sorry,
we were listening to the demos last night for the next record, and we got like I have to drink. I can't drink a lot of beer, so I've just kind of been backing off, laying with Tito's soda, which can get you extremely wasted. Like, and then when I start listening to new music and start getting planned out for like the next record, it's just like,
oh yeah,
and it's like by the end of the night I'm like, oh man, it's time to bed, and you wake up. So that's why I was like, I'll have a beer. But what I'm saying is, like, I go through so much listening and so much dedication to the album of me listening to the stuff. How does it make me feel? And not as an artist, as a fan. Like, if I just kind of put myself outside of the artist and listen to it. And I have a close circle of friends that, and in the music business, that I'll send publishing kind of what you think of this song. So you get a lot more opinions and kind of work.
You trust and stuff.
I know a lot of people are like putting their new songs on Instagram and playing it, and I'm still like, I just think then it's what is the fans like? You know, where it's like, well, what do you you're just gonna go by what everybody likes. Like, let's put it this way: an artist doesn't paint a picture by what his fans are gonna like about it.
Correct. Yeah.
You know
no,
what I'm
I'm following you. Yeah.
So it's like, I think it takes the element of the anticipation away, and also
you're supposed to take them on a journey that they didn't know about too.
I just think it takes the artist factor away. So I don't put stuff on Instagram that's unreleased because I think it's fun to make the fans wait, because you see, like, you get the comments, you get the message like, when you gonna put some new music out, and to me that's more exciting than like, I don't know about this song, or like, it's like, it doesn't matter what I wrote this song and I want to, somebody's gonna like it, you know, and not everybody's gonna like everything, but I feel like that's one of my favorite parts about making records is the quietness, is the anticipation.
Right.
And so
you don't leave people waiting too long. I mean, at least you haven't the last couple of years.
No, we'll
we're not Dr. Dre.
Yeah, not 8 years. Although the Chronic 2001 is probably one of my.
It's so good, so good. I mean, there's not one song you want to skip on.
It's so good, so good.
But like that, yeah. I mean, I think you're right. When we kind of we're in this age now where it's like, where even when you're a superstar, people are like, hey, this is who I am, what do you think? And it's still almost like conformist. It's like they'll put out a record, or they'll put out like people who design clothes are like, hey, which one do you like the most, and all that kind of stuff. And it's almost as if we're, like you said, taking their voice out of it.
I'm going the Louis Vuitton factor, where you just know what you're getting in a different way, always reimagined, but it's still the same thing.
There you go. See?
So I mean, you gotta look at that. Like, we're talking about artists and clothing and stuff. It's just like, I mean, Louis Vuitton has the same damn pattern for years, and it's still one of the most high-priced stuff you can get.
For sure.
So I was like, I'll take the Louis Vuitton version, where you just know what you're gonna get.
They made a 5X, I'd be in.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's funny. I just thought of that. Hungover thoughts.
It's good. I mean. I'm just glad you're drinking a beer hungover with us. I appreciate it.
I mean, it was Friday yesterday.
Right.
Just because it's 2020 doesn't mean you can't get drunk on Friday and call your buddies and have a good time.
Liquor sales are through the roof for a reason right now.
Man, if I had a stock share in Tito's, or I was like my name was Tito, that driveway would definitely be concrete.
Oh yeah. Jesus, it'd be a good year for that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. So that means you're currently working on stuff, and you're doing the late night stuff now, or you?
No, I'm just working in my mind.
Okay, you're at the pre-process.
Yeah, it's like me getting ready for what I really want on the next record, and a lot of for me it's knowing who I am and knowing what I want, because my co-writers, my co-producers, people that work with me like that I know what I want, and it's I work hard enough to where they trust my opinion.
Yeah.
So, because some artists just like, whatever, whatever
Tell
me
what
the fans want. It's like, so I really have, I invest in me as an artist of trying to make the best music I can from what you say, and like, when you talk about the Garth Brooks factor, where it's high energy, it's positive, and I think a lot of like our generation's first country concert was Garth Brooks, because he brought so much people into the genre. I mean, it was
huge.
Like, you got to see Garth Brooks, and then it kind of changed everything for the better of entertainment. And so I feel like that's a factor that I say you always got to have a little bit of Garth in you. You got to have a little bit of Allen. You got a little George Strait, a lot of Dwight Yoakam.
For sure.
And so
Dwight Yoakam, man, for me too. Like, I loved that he was right along those lines that we were talking about. How he wouldn't, you don't want to conform to other people. When you listen to Dwight singing, he's yipping and hollering and all that. It's like there's nobody told him to do that.
He's still making cool music. He put that.
I listened to him in Fresno like 2 years ago. Play live. Awesome.
You should check out his bluegrass record.
Okay.
He did a cover of Purple Rain. That's really cool.
Really.
And he covered a lot of his songs. He did like Guitars and Cadillacs and and a lot of his like classic hits, bluegrass style.
Bluegrass style. That's cool.
It's like something swimming pools, guitars, and actors. I don't know, forget what it's called, but it's cool.
Yeah, nice. Well, streets of Bakersfield. I lived outside of Fresno, California for a while. So I'm from Santa Cruz.
My fiance is from Clovis.
Oh, okay. So I lived in Hanford.
Yeah.
And so I mean, even to this day, Streets of Bakersfield is like one of the main songs you hear at like department stores and things everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
So it's still huge.
Country music's huge in California, and I try to tell everybody that. They think it's all just California, especially now. It's like everybody's just so crazy.
Yeah.
And it's still like there's still hardworking farmers. There's there's so many workers out there
that valley, that's like, I think it's 70 to 80% of our natural produce.
Yeah, oh, it's the biggest ag state in the country because they can produce so many different crops and stuff, and it gets overshadowed by Hollywood and some of the bigger cities. But
right, like, San Francisco, LA.
It's the third biggest state in the United States.
Right.
There's Alaska and Texas and California, and like it's beautiful. I miss it, but my home's here because work's here.
And Northern California.
And man, that damn property out there, and the property tax, it's like, damn, I'd be living in a shed.
We need to separate it into 2 states. That's what I've been saying since I was a kid.
We'll take Santa Cruz.
Yeah, Santa Cruz North is a different state than LA and San Diego.
But I love San Luis Obispo. That's right in the, that's dead middle, man.
That's a great spot
San
too.
Luis Obispo,
you know, and then Monterey, that area too, right just south of Santa Cruz.
It's all good. I'd hate to see it split, but
then too, for me, I mean, I've traveled all around the world too. I've been everywhere. I've done a ton of different cool stuff. To me, the most beautiful place in the entire world is Northern Cali, the Valley of the Giants.
Oh, I haven't been up there.
Oh man, it's like right outside of, you know where Wairika?
Yeah, right in the bottom of Oregon.
Yeah. So it's like trees, like
big redwoods.
Oh, yeah, gorgeous. Actually, I went. I'll tell the story, I guess. I went out.
Hey man, you with me. Everything's PG-13. Just deal with it.
Yeah. We'll just pretend.
This ain't the Disney Channel.
We were driving through, and I was supposed to go visit a college, and we ended up taking mushrooms in the valley. And I stayed there for 3 days, just staring at the trees. Like it was for me like religious. Oh yeah, for sure. Bro? So like you guys were here with the dinosaurs. So for me, that's like. That feels like God's country, you know.
Yeah.
The Northern California spot.
I still think California is one of the prettiest places you can visit. So.
Yeah, Redding. I mean, if you've never been to California, you go through Chico and you go through Redding and all that.
Oh yeah.
I almost bought a place out in.
We're sweating. If you haven't seen that. It's just hotter.
There's a place that sounds like it's like a fairy tale. It's like right outside of Chico and Redding is it's not Miracle.
Paradise.
Thank you, Paradise.
Paradise just burned down.
Really?
Yeah, that was a devastating fire.
Yeah, I knew there was a fire.
No, it was like it burned the whole town.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was bad. So hopefully everybody in Paradise is rebuilding. I know there's a lot.
Magalia's up there too. Yeah,
there's a lot going into Paradise, and Lake Orville, all around there.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that all went down.
No, Paradise was bad.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna buy a house. I ended up getting one in Idaho.
Well, you would have got a new house.
Wow.
But yeah, no, everybody's rebuilding up there. I mean, and the thing is with California fires, they go up every year. And it's always devastating. My friends lost house. My friends had to evacuate. One of my friends fought off. They're all firefighters, and they fought off his parents' ranch, and it was like a cool story out of Vacaville. And I was like, that was badass. Like, you know, it was the only house standing because like they went and fought it off with they had like a water wagon or something, and it's just crazy. But it goes up every year, and this year in California, around my part, it was just so hot, and I think lightning struck and just lit up, and
oh wow,
there was nothing you could do.
I remember when I was a kid living out there, it's a terrible story, but there was a kid who like lit a lizard's tail on fire, and it ran through the forest, and then Northern California just burned. Yeah, and it seems like it's been like that since I was a kid.
Yeah, it's crazy out here. So if you look around, like I don't care, you're looking this way, but if you can see the trees in the background, like everything's green.
Yeah.
And it is literally like so hard to light a fire here. Like I need diesel. I need diesel, and I need a blowtorch. Yeah. I'll get a fire started. Man.
Yeah. No. True.
That mark. It's gonna stick a little bit.
I don't care. Got him. Salt my beer. Thanks.
Still alive.
I wanted to ask you, you've done everything from like party music to like real, just honest, emotional stuff, and so you know, for you, if someone was gonna ask you, what song do you feel like kind of describes you the most honestly? Like, which one kind of makes you feel like you kind of almost bore too much? You ever said something that you're like, oh man, I kind of shared too much, or I kind of opened myself up a little bit too much with all the eyes. Everybody watching, everybody's listening. Do you ever feel like, oh man, I might need to reel that in a little bit, or am I exposing myself too much?
No, I don't. You know, I feel like the more honest.
You got balls. That's what it is. Damn.
I feel like the more honest you are, and the more open you are, and not like, you know, just be an entertainer. Don't try to preach stuff. Don't try to Try to relate to people. Don't try to, you know, shove shit down people's throat they don't want to hear. Because that's what we're not here to. Like, you want to be a preacher, go be a preacher. You want to be an entertainer, be the best damn entertainer you can. Talk to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, make everybody have a good time, and that's always been my songwriting, my performance, and like leveling off, not going too far away from myself. So it's like, that's why it's, you know, country in the country. Like, I love team roping, I love hunting, I like doing all the stuff that my fans love to do, and I like working out, you know. And so it's like, stay relatable to what you really want to do and who you are, and I feel like people will really like that. So when you going back to what you say, opening up and everything, of course I do, but like, it's not like, you know, it's different. I just kind of have fun and stay positive.
Yeah.
Like artists that open up, I mean, she's humongous, but Taylor Swift open up, I mean, she will literally, there's like conspiracy theories of her songs back to her boyfriends. I'm like,
yeah,
whoa, yeah. I'm glad I just like beard making sounds.
Yeah.
But she's, when I look up to her, I think she's fantastic, and she's an artist that really opens up, but she has the craziest fans, you know, like,
right.
There's famous, and then there's Taylor Swift famous. Like, I mean, she can't go anywhere.
Yeah, just mention her on here, you better be nice.
Oh yeah, don't be getting Taylor Swift.
Come
get you. Like I said, I'm a big Taylor fan. I was just comparing.
Of course,
she really opens up.
She does. Yeah. She does. She talks about openly about relationships and choices she knows.
She's smart too, though. She's like, people want to hear this.
Oh yeah, for sure. And she's right too.
Yeah,
she is.
She's a baller. Taylor Swift, man.
I mean,
but she's such a creative songwriter. That's what I love about her. And one of my favorite things about Taylor is she left country music because she wanted to do pop. And she didn't. She went for the big leagues. She didn't bring pop to country. She was like, right. No, I'm gonna go be a mega pop star, and that takes balls.
Yes.
And she did it.
And that's something people don't give enough credit for. There's a lot of people who end up fizzling out of other genres and trying to force their way into country and different things. But to go the other route where you're like huge, she got on tour with she sang that song, remember the
Tim McGraw song?
Thank you, Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
So she
went on tour with Tim.
Takes that, does that, grows, becomes a huge star, then goes into pop. I mean, that's
my
pretty
comparison
gnarly.
is like, Luke Bryan's doing big things. And when I was on tour with Luke, we were playing MetLife, the football field, where the New York Giants played. We played one night. Taylor Swift sold out 3 nights. So maybe I need to open up a little more, man.
maybe you should start talking about exes.
I got to really open up myself, start thinking about it.
Yeah, so I mean, we figured that out right here.
So now you can hashtag Louis Vuitton, Ford, Broncos, Taylor Swift.
There we go. This is going to be a catchy title. It's going to be good. You've gone through this whole process of trying to figure out what you wanted, coming down here for work, and the growth. I can't imagine what that tidal wave felt like. You know, that huge wave of holy crap, like everybody singing my songs. I mean, I have a place in Texas and I stay in Idaho, and in Texas it was just like all of a sudden you were the only artist out there for a while.
Love Texas.
And it's crazy because Texas, they want to sing, they want Texas music.
Oh yeah, I'm adopted Texan.
See, and you are considered a Texan to Texans.
My dad lives there.
See, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's just because you're so honest.
I've been going to Texas for at least as long as I lived in Nashville.
Yeah.
It's my dream is to have a ranch out there. Me and Summer want a ranch out in Texas, and we just to have 2 spots, and it was just that community, and like my buddy Bryce Long, he heals with me when I go rope and stuff, and we're just like, man, if the music business could be out here, it'd be a dream.
Yeah.
Man, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's coming. I mean, you know, we've got some. I mean, I live in the hill country outside of San Antonio.
Yeah, my dad lives in Spring Branch.
Oh, nice, just gorgeous.
We just got. We got California. We got San Antonio. I mean, this is crazy. We're gonna be best friends.
We're both
man.
hungover.
Yeah, I mean,
is what it is.
It's meant to be.
So I mean, out there, like there's you know, Kojo and I can't remember all the names, but there's a lot of people that pop up out of that spot. So for you to take over the way you did, for me it was astonishing. It was like, this is basically like you might as well have just been like born and raised in Texas, you know, in Amarillo.
Well, I got a funny story after you get done.
Go for it. It's probably better than my question.
All right. Well, when it comes to Texas, I was out there. I think we were out there in like 2010, 2011. My roommate, Gabe Garcia, he was on Nashville Star back in the day and everything, and he just became he's a good buddy. He was my roommate. So he kind of introduced me to the San Antonio area. Mm-hmm. And so we were going down there all the time. And there'd be shows we'd play. I opened up for Gabe one time, and literally I played shows down in Texas to 300 people or 3 people.
Yeah.
And they did not care about me. And even it really took Head Over Boots because
such a good song.
But in 2015, it was like 2014, 2015. I was still rolling through Texas, playing. I played like there's this place called Cooter Browns, and we played there. I opened up for one of my friends, Mario Flores, who does cover bands. And like I was just opening up for him.
Yeah.
And I had a record deal. And like there's nobody gave a shit about me. It's
not
funny.
In Texas. No.
And I was like, man, I like studied Texas.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do they want, you know? And so we go out to old dance halls, and I was like, what is, you know, I love, Texas is one of the only states that still cherishes dancing.
Yeah.
Like they want to two-step, they want to get out, they want to have, like you were talking earlier, they want to have music they can dance to.
Yeah. And
I've always loved Texas, and I always had that about me. But I really studied Texas, and I got it. I was like, I wrote Head Over Boots the next day. And then that was like, my goal was to be played in every dance hall in Texas and around the country.
Yeah.
And so Danny is a friend, and he talks to my dad a lot. He owns Cowboys in around San Antonio.
Yeah.
I've
been in there. Yeah.
And so he's like, this was back in the day before when we could, you know, remember when we could all hang around each other and not be all worried about everything?
So way back for the apocalypse?
Yeah, for the apocalypse of entertainment. He kept texting my dad. He's like, man, every song of your son's, when it plays, like the dance floor is packed. And I was like, and that's what studying gets you. Like, it's fun to study something, but
figure it out though. Yeah. My girl's born and raised San Antonio, grew up there. Like that's her life. She's been riding horses and she manages gun shops. That's all she's ever done.
Like
San Antonio from the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't call her. Don't just leave her alone. Right? leave some for the rest of us.
Yeah.
But anyways, so she's from that area. And for her, Head Over Boots is her like favorite dance song. It's when that came on. I remember for the first time we were at a bar in New Braunfels, and when it came on, she just like took my hand and made me get up and dance with her. It was like she's not really like that. She likes Kojo. She likes a couple other really like super local people. But you know, when you came on, I was like it was like you said, you figured out what Texas wanted. And then you went straight for it, and you could tell you're not gonna BS them. That's the other thing is you can't. If you didn't feel Head Over Boots, they wouldn't have felt it. So you had to have actually studied, figured it out, and then found a way to be honest and put yourself into those terms.
Well, I tell you, like a lot of stuff that they were dancing to was like heartbreak songs.
For sure.
And I'm like, why? Why are they? This song is like he's trying to bang another chick in the whole lyric.
Yeah.
And I was listening, I was like, they're dancing all this sad shit. So it's like, that's like, I made a dancing song that talks about falling in love. It talks about dancing, and it talks about just getting out and having a good time.
Yeah.
And that was
the simplicity too. The simplicity behind just Head Over Boots.
Yeah.
That's Texas. You know,
Yeah.
like it's very simple, straightforward, and everyone knows like exactly what you're going for.
Texas,
Great.
yet the whole world.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, thank you, Texas. But I'm trying to conquer. I would say, what are your plans for the future? It's like take over the whole world.
For sure.
And that's, where I got that from. I'll give her credit as I was watching like flashbacks from MTV and VH1, you know, nostalgia stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an old interview with Madonna, and like when she first came out, and they're like, "What is your plan?" She's just like, "To take over the whole world." It's like, yes,
Yeah.
girl, yes, yes, girl, gonna do that. So you know, it's taken me a while.
Yeah. No, I think you're off to a good
Still
freaking
working
start.
on it. Still working on it.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you've been around the world, and we went to Australia, and we played shows, and it wasn't as packed as the United States, but like, we flew 20 hours to get there,
Right.
and we were in the middle of nowhere. And you talk about flies, we couldn't even go outside without a face mask
Crazy.
on. Like, not like the face mask we're wearing right now. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Nets
Right.
and flies everywhere.
Yeah.
But
We in Melbourne, Sydney, both.
we were in Whitney. I went to Melbourne, went to Sydney. Sydney was fun. Melbourne was awesome.
Sydney's kind of almost like California.
Yeah. No, it was cool. We were in and out so fast. That was the biggest bummer. And there was another one that we really liked. But we went to Winton. It was like going back to 1908. Mm-hmm. And
Like an old mining town.
oh man, it was like still dirt road down the center
yeah,
of
yeah,
downtown, and like all the hotels were from the early 18
Right.
like late 1800s, and it was awesome. But we showed up, and there was like 5,000 people there, like in the middle of nowhere, like
That's
having a
crazy.
good time. We sold out a lot of shows, and this year,
Well, I mean, I'd say you're basically taking over the world as long as you can
I'm
get
trying.
Asia in there.
well, this year we had planned a whole UK tour in 2020, and of course the coronavirus
yeah.
hit, and we were so excited to play London. We had a gig in Ireland, and we just had a whole circuit, and it wasn't for anything. It was just for my being an artist. Like we had a whole 2-week plan, and it was like. And then we were gonna I was gonna take my whole management team, and we were gonna go to France and like just chill out, because most of my managers are women and strong.
Yeah.
You can't talk to women now.
I was raised by women. I've got
So-
5 sisters and my mom that raised me.
Yeah,
so
man,
I
booking
know.
agent. So I was gonna take them all to France. We had this whole thing planned, but like I said, you know, we'll get back there. We'll get back there, UK,
Yeah.
but try to take over the world.
Yeah, you'll be back there next year, man.
So what about you? What's your plans? Let's
Turn
switch
it
the
on
interview.
me.
Let's turn the interview.
Well,
around
I
here.
do want to say, when I was in Sydney, because I always have to mention this because it's probably the coolest thing I think I ever did. Growing up, Point Break was my favorite movie.
Uh-huh.
It was my older brother's favorite movie, so it was mine.
Swayze.
Yeah, Swayze
Love
and Keanu
Swayze.
Reeves, man. It's
I
so
love
good.
Swayze.
So,
Roadhouse.
dude, so good. He's so good. Yeah. But so when we were in Sydney, I got to do 2 things. I went and at the end when Swayze commits suicide, that I went surfing at that beach, and it was pouring down rain. I was the only one out there, and I was like pretending I was Bodie surfing on the waves. You know, it was awesome. So yeah, Australia is awesome. For me, I want to see where everything ends up. I like switching the transition from breaking my back to make pennies to being full of thought or creating and stuff to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
I like that transition. It's a lot better. I do a lot better with it. So, and I got a 4-year-old, and I just want him to have the best life ever. So for me, it's going well too, man.
How long are you gonna do heavy lifting?
I think I've probably got maybe 2 more years in me.
Yeah.
Probably 2.
You could be like me, just light squat, right?
Oh yeah.
Push up, all natural workout.
Yeah,
Jump squats.
for sure. That's basically. I want to switch and drop down. I'll probably lose 100 pounds and be like 330, 320, and just feel way better. Just I don't know. We'll see.
Dude, I have a hard time. Like, I want to lose weight. I'm 230. I weighed myself this morning, and like I have to tell myself like you're a big guy. Like
You are.
I have to
You're
remind
tall
myself,
too,
like,
though.
You're a big guy. Like you're gonna be heavy. Like
Right.
don't get down because you're 230.
That's not big, man.
I know, but like, you
Well,
see,
you
like,
look, if you're comparing yourself to other entertainers who are all 5'4",
Yeah,
5'6", 5'8",
under 200
and skin
pounds.
and bone, but you're in shape, man. You do it well. You do it well.
but yeah, when I hear guys like, yo, I have to get down to 330, I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm all right, 230 is fine.
I'm 415 right now.
Well, you look good, man. A strong 415.
I'm 10 weeks out from Worlds, so I'm making sure I'm ready for it.
So what goes into training for that? Just squats?
Heavy ass squats.
It's all legs.
Deads. Yeah, it's tons of legs, lower
No,
back.
I'm saying fitness in general is all legs.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people like to do legs. That's why I jump squats and just lunges. You don't have to use any weights. Really, it's like, it's so important. But I can see like you just powerlifting, squats, the whole thing.
And then at this point, from now forward, it's almost all event stuff. So like we'll be pulling trucks, picking up cars, doing the stones, all that stuff. I try and
regular day
focus
stuff.
it. Yeah. For me, if I had this spot here, it would be full of that type of equipment.
Pulling, you get pull Bronco. It's pretty light, about 5,000 pounds.
That's very light.
Up the hill though, you can
Up the hill, that would be brutal. Brutal. So what I was getting to before is your process has been displayed. Like you've gone through this entire growth and these years of becoming a man, and it's all been out in front of the people, all this stuff, and you've got so much good music out there, so much of how you feel and how you live. I mean, if I want to know how do you feel about something, I could just put on a record and hear it,
Yeah.
So through that process and through that time where you are now, basically, do you feel like you have any part of you that wishes you could have done certain things different, and on top of that, do you feel like that process of becoming a man right now, and I'm sure you were a man before, but that process of becoming the man you are right now, do you feel like there's maybe just a quick little hint that you could help people to kind of find themselves, how something that you figured out along the way to how you found who you are and how to be your best?
Yeah, for sure. I say when you talk about becoming a man, it's like, of course, I understand that. It's like, I was a young man. I was a young man when I moved here. I was a young man from a small town who didn't know nothing. And I thought Olive Garden was the best damn restaurant. I mean, there ain't no better restaurant.
Ain't no better than Olive Garden.
I had my 21st birthday
That's
party.
real Italian food.
That is the shit, bro.
We're getting sued.
The salad dressing was the best.
They got breadsticks.
I still love Olive Garden.
I still do too.
But for me, being from Dixon in a small town, like that was where we went. That was, we didn't have. That was a nice restaurant.
Right.
And so when I moved to Nashville, and then I went out, and I was like, I did have the world, as I say, the world, whatever this means is your oyster or whatever, but the world was mine, in my view. Like, I'm doing it, and everything was new. I've never been to the South before. Hell, I never knew college football was so big around here.
Yeah.
Like, first time in Tuscaloosa, I asked Terry, my guitar player, I was like, how do you get the crowd riled up? He says, buddy, you just say roll tide. I must have said roll tide 10 times that night. Like, yeah, they're like, they did their whole like, yeah, roll tide. I was like, yes, they are crazy about football right here. So like, so much more experiences came, and when it goes back to Olive Garden, it's like you start going to these nice high-end restaurants, and Nashville's such a food town now. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and being in the music business, being on tour, being on the radio, presenting yourself at dinner, it was like I learned so much, and I grew into, like I would say, a gentleman in a way, and learning how to talk to people, my favorite thing is to talk to people. A lot of artists, people don't want to do stuff. They wouldn't do this. They wouldn't,
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's talk to people. People need to talk. They need to hear what other people have been through. I really think that's like the best public knowledge of counseling you can get.
Yeah.
And so when you ask me about growing into a man, I'd say getting out of your bubble, getting out of your shell, just getting out of your comfort zone will push you to be somebody better. And the way I can say, sometimes I'll go back home and I'm like, bro, you can't say that, dude. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
You obviously have not left Dixon.
Yeah.
You have not been in big cities and it's just like go travel, go see stuff. Well, I mean, when we get back to traveling or just do something that you haven't done and
new experiences.
Yeah, for me right now, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm learning how to read maps.
Nice.
Does anybody know how to read maps here?
Right?
Does anybody know how to read maps?
I'm an Eagle Scout.
Guy. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to read maps, and I was like, I need to learn that. So just like little stuff like that, learn how to tie knots.
Yeah.
I got a little whole kit. All that stuff is so cheap on Amazon right now. Mm-hmm. Because nobody cares about it.
Right.
I got a compass and a book for $20.
Yeah.
And then the tying knot thing was $20. I'm
yeah.
Like, all right.
But imagine too, like if we ever really did go down the tube, that's everything you're gonna need. You're gonna need to know how to hunt, how to grow your own food, how to read maps that we're not gonna have our cell phones.
How to tie a knot.
How to tie a knot. How you gonna make
this? And the tie knot thing came. I was hanging up a tarp and we were building a tent, and I was just doing double knots. Like, there's got to be an easier way.
Yeah.
So, but it's just little things like that. So admitting that you don't know how to do something is getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And not being like, I know how to do that. No, you don't.
Right.
Don't. And that's your first thing is you don't want to feel like, oh, I could do that. I can't do that.
Right.
So just admitting to yourself, like learning, wanting to learn. I don't care how old you are, you can still go back to school, especially online now. And it's just like there's all kinds of things you can do to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what, I moved to Nashville fearless, like, 3 days to get here. I don't know many people. And like, it just takes that. And that's what changed me. That's what grew me into when you say a man. And I feel like there's still so many little ways you can do that, even if it's just fixing your relationship, or being kinder, being just understanding stuff. It's a lot. And I think 2020 is one of the years this is the year that we're going to learn all kinds of stuff as human race. Like we're learning all kinds of stuff right now. So, and we'll just take it as it is. And like I always make it positive, even though this is the shittest year of my whole life, but there's still positive things.
Yeah.
I met you.
Yeah.
That's a positive thing. Who would have known? We got California and Texas, and you love music, and we like working out.
Yep.
We got a new buddy today. So
exactly. We're gonna make out later.
We'll get in the backseat of that Bronco. Hey, it's 2020, dog.
So yeah, what you're saying is really common with a lot of the guys that we've had on the show. Basically, that quest to do new things, to try new stuff, and staying away from that, like, I have to be good at everything mentality. That's kind of what every single person has said. Whether it's like fixing a car or learn how to fix a sink. It's funny that the process can take you down a million different avenues. But it's as long as you're just like, I want to learn how to do that. I want to figure out how to do this. I want to go to this town and try and meet new people. I want to see this place or try and maybe write a song. For me, like I wanted to write stuff forever, and then I started writing stuff, and then now I got a TV show and stuff that we created. So like I think it's really cool to see successful people in a bunch of different venues, whether they're wrestlers or strongmen or athletes or singers, and every single one of them is telling you guys, try something new. Just go out there and try it. Who cares if you look silly, feel funny, whatever, go try it. And so I think that's...
I went in hip-hop dancing, hip-hop class, and that was good.
See, Chris Kirkpatrick just showed me some moves yesterday. Yeah, I was
How was Goldberg?
Goldberg's the man. That's my buddy.
Dude, I had a phase. I still love wrestling, but I was deep in the wrestling from 10 to 14.
Oh yeah.
Rock was huge.
Same here.
I love The Rock.
Stone Cold, Goldberg,
Stone Cold,
Triple
Dallas
H.
Page.
Oh yeah.
And
Steve Nash and Razor Ramon.
Yeah. So I was but when Goldberg was huge, he came out and he was like, Goldberg. He had the whole interest and everything. I was like, man, you got to interview Goldberg.
That's my buddy, man. I worked with him when he first did his comeback a couple years ago.
The traps.
It's insane. And what people don't know is how beat up his body is, or how he's got this torn and that torn and this torn.
Yeah.
And yet he's still He would wake me up every morning at like 4 o'clock. I stayed at his place for a while to help him train. He'd wake me up at like 4:30. We'd go right to the gym, which is in like literally the same room. And he would just make me like be like, all right, we gotta calm down a minute, relax.
I just woke up.
An animal, yeah, an animal, and a good dude, man.
That's awesome.
Really, really cool guy. And they're out in Texas now too, outside of San Antonio.
Yeah. It's the place to be, man.
It's the spot. Don't go there, but it's the spot. So, anyways,
I had
man.
to slip in that question. I saw that interview.
Yeah, he's fun. He's a good dude too.
Tell him I said hello.
I will. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear it.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Well, cheers, man.
Seriously.
That was a fun time.
It was awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If not, I don't know why you watched all the way to the end.
Who cares? I don't care if you didn't like what we talked about.
He
See
don't
you
care.
later.
I don't care. None
You
of
don't
us.
take our awesome knowledge we just tried to drop on you.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Shame on you. For real.
Cheers, everybody.
Your mother.
Hey, now you can't be doing that.
Okay. Not your mom.
Cheers.
For real, your mom.
Cheers. Good. Have a blessed day. That's a good
That's
time.
perfect.
I'm sweaty.